Stories are life-altering events. My name is Osadumebi, and every week I will tell you a short story written by a Nigerian writer or author. That's the long and short of it. So without much ado, this week's story is by Chioma Odibo, and it's titled Clothed in Flesh and Blood. I'm still a virgin, I said, stuttering. Silence fell on the room as all eyes turned and bore into me. After what seemed like forever, someone spoke up. "You're kidding, right?" "No," I said, feeling the beads of sweat building up on my forehead. They glared at me as though I was an outlaw. I glanced at their surprised faces, then peered into Sandra's with a pleading glare. God, let her say something to get all these eyes off me, I said within. But there was something about Sandra's expression. I could see written all over her face surprise, disappointment, and something else I could not quite decipher. She looked away quickly and said, Don't mind Jennifer Joe. She's one of those Jew girls." Everyone laughed and another conversation began. I didn't know whether or not to laugh along. Sandra had just insulted me, but she had also gotten the attention of me. So I kept my cool. Sandra had invited me to one of her usual hangouts with her girls. They were all fun and nice to chill out with. Aside from the earlier awkwardness, the rest of the evening went well. Days later, Sandra called. She wanted me to accompany her to a friend's birthday party. She said we would go earlier to help with the decoration and stuff. I obliged. It's not like I had anything else doing. We arrived at the house early as Sandra had said we would. It was going to be a house party. We met two young men in the living room. "They are the celebrant's brother and his friend," Sandra whispered when she saw the look on my face. Made sense. It was a house party after all. But I was still a bit nervous. Something wasn't quite right. I could sense evil lurking, but I did not know where. We exchanged pleasantries and were offered drinks. Moments passed and we hadn't started decorating. Moments still and no other guests arrived. I was about to voice my concern to Sandra when all of a sudden I started to feel lightheaded. The music suddenly got louder. The ceiling fan seemed as though it was about to spin off its hook. What on earth was happening to me? I managed to turn my head slightly in an attempt to call Sandra's name, only for me to see her smiling at me. Some devious smile it was. The lights became too heavy for my eyes. My neck, crushed by the weight of my head, my legs, vaporized. My mind, blank. I woke up to a doctor examining me and shaking his head. "Another victim of bad company," he said to the nurse. "An unfortunate one. She's very lucky to be alive," the nurse replied. I had a dead soul with a human mask for a friend. Chioma Odibo, who goes by the pen name Pencil Speaks, is a young writer who resides in Enugu, Nigeria. You can read more of her work and connect with her on Instagram at Pencil Speaks. Details and links will be in the episode description. If you've got a story you would like to be featured on this podcast, or a published book you want to make into an audiobook, send me a message at Osadumebi on either Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Twitter. I look forward to collaborating with you. And if you've enjoyed this week's episode, tell a friend that stories are a good escape for a few minutes each week.